Grass Wonder, Monster of the Golden Generation by Yangwithagi.
In the world of Japanese horse racing, truly strong horses are given the nickname of monster, some of which include
Don't forget, for Grass Wonder, my fellow American.
Maruzensky, the chestnut monster, Ugly Cat, the gray monster, and Rita Bryan, the shadow roll monster.
And Grass Wonder, the American monster.
On February 18, 1995, the next horse to take on the monster mantle was born, and in the following years, everyone in the Japanese horse racing industry came to learn the name Grass Wonder. Grass Wonder was born at Darby Dan Farm in Kentucky, USA, and sired by Silverhawk, an American horse who competed in Europe that ended his career with 3 wins out of 8 starts. Although Silverhawk's racing career was not particularly remarkable, his father was Roberto, 1972's Epsom Derby champion. With stallions like Brian's Time and Real Shaddai, Roberto's bloodline is
That was a beefy horse. Let me go back and see that guy.
with stallions like Brian's
That one's a little chunky,
Time and Real
but look at that one. He's a beefy boy.
Shaddai. Roberto's bloodline is well known in Japan. In fact, quite a few of his descendants have become Umamusume, such as Raishower, Narita Bryan, and Mayano Top Gun, just to name a
Wait, no reason. Why is she here?
few. Grass Wonder's mother was an unraced American mare by the name of Amera Flora. She's the daughter of Danzig, son of Northern Dancer, who is considered as a super sire on the same level as Sadler's Wells. Many of Danzig's descendants are also part of Umamusume.
Why is she here? Why did she sneak into the video? At least it's not Creek.
The pairing of Silverhawk and Amera Flora resulted in a foal that was considered as nothing less than wonderful. The appearance of this foal was so magnificent that in September of 1996, when trainer Mitsuhiro Ogata saw him at the Keenlin auction, he recommended the president of Hanzawa Company Limited, Junichi Ito, to purchase the horse based on looks alone. When asked what
Damn.
was so good about the horse, Ogata stated, specifically, its hock joints were set high, its shoulders were laid back very well, and
What is this man, the horse whisperer? He can just look at a horse and be like, yeah, that's a good horse right there. Look at it. I can tell.
the overall balance was excellent. Ito trusted the words of his trainer and began bidding. After some back and forth with a Dubai horse owner, Ito finalized the purchase price at $250,000. 2 months
That's a
later,
pretty
in
penny.
November of '96, the horse was moved to Northern Farm Airport Ranch for breaking in. Shortly after, the colt was registered as Grass Wonder. On paper, the owner is listed as Hanzawa Company Limited, but the actual owner was Nobuya Hanzawa, twin brother of Kishiro Hanzawa. Kishiro was the owner of Green Grass, the Kikasho champion of 1976,
Oh.
and a member of TTG, the 3 strongest horses of their generation.
Ah, okay. I don't know too much about the horses, but I've heard their names. Especially, I believe when I first heard these horses, it was from the old man racing expert. When he was guessing the Umas, he was the one that brought up these ones.
After his brother's passing, Nobuya
Yang, always the interesting bee footage every single time. Is that an arm just thrown on the floor over here? You know what? Let's not question it.
changed his horse ownership license to the Hanzawa Company in honor of his brother and Green Grass.
Green grass must not be forgotten.
What is this bee footage? I'm completely distracted by it.
Since 1985, Nobuya's horses are titled Grass, and his racing uniform also matches Kishiro's. As for the latter half of Grass Wonder's name, President Ito named him Wonder because of the wonderful impression he felt after seeing the horse at auction.
So that's where Grass Wonder got his name. Interesting.
About 4 months later, in April of 1997, Grass Wonder moved to Ogata's stable at the Miho Training Center to begin training. Many of the training staff immediately took notice of Grass Wonder's excellent movement, and he was showered with nothing but praise.
That's my
Ogata
fellow
remarked,
American.
"It was a good purchase. This horse will run well. Just watch." After several months of training, Ogata approached Hitoshi Matoba, who previously rode Beagle Pegasus and Rice Shower. There's a foreign-bred horse who's pretty interesting. Want to ride him? Matoba accepted, and immediately after seeing Grass for the first time, he remarked, "What a well-balanced horse. For a 2-year-old, he's already developed quite a bit of muscle." After his first time on the saddle, Matoba claimed Grass was extremely easy to ride, and once he urged for a slight spurt, Grass's ability became vividly clear.
Wanna ride him?
This horse is something different. Without a doubt, he's going to become a top-class horse. I've ridden many 2-year-olds, but among them, this one is unmistakably top tier. Interestingly, on a separate training day, another horse threw its rider off and came charging at Grass Wonder.
Why?
He did not flinch at all. After witnessing what transpired,
Just didn't care.
Ogata laughed and said, "He's either incredibly smart and destined to run well, or he's a complete idiot."
You know what? Why not both? Grass Wonder was obedient and soft to touch. He made fans quick. Well, he does sound like he has a very good temper.
One or the other. In hindsight, we know which camp Grass Wonder belonged to. Word of Grass Wonder's
He's also slightly lazy. I'm a fellow American.
abilities started spreading among racing officials, and on September 13th, 1997, Grass was ranked as the favorite to win in his debut, despite being a slow starter.
I believe in you,
With that
Grass.
in mind, the team chose an 1,800-meter turf course, allowing him more time to recover from a slow start. As anticipated, Grass Wonder, who was positioned second from the farthest gate, slowly lapped out and started from the back. Seconds later, he rushed towards the front and contested the second position with another horse as everyone entered the first corner.
Come on,
He
Grass.
exited the corner in second, about a length behind the front-running horse. Grass maintained that position throughout the straight, and no other opponent could contest him.
That's
Once
right.
the final turn came into view, Grass Wonder moved
Go,
closer to the
go,
lead.
go.
Both horses were lined up as they traversed the turn with Grass Wonder on the outside. Although he came out of the corner slightly behind the lead, he quickly caught up and passed the front horse at the
Let's
200-meter
go.
marker.
Let's go.
His leading advantage steadily grew as he ran down the home stretch.
That's
and in
right.
the final 100 meters, Grass's powerful legs propelled him even farther ahead until he crossed the finish line with a 3-length lead. What makes this win truly impressive is that Matoba did not have to use the riding crop a single time. In fact, you won't catch Matoba
Smart
using the
horse.
whip in their next 2 races either. Murmurs from spectators and racing officials started to spread, and they all said the same thing. This one might be a real monster. Adding on to that, after Ogata's stable staff examined Grass's legs,
Num, num.
they discovered 0 signs of inflammation or any other issues, which led them to believe
I don't know why, but every time they open and close and like chew with their mouth, my brain just goes num, num, num.
that he did not show his true ability. He's running as if he were playing around. Those strides were proof of his immeasurable talent. 1 month after his debut, Grass Wonder entered the 1,400-meter open-grade Ivy Stakes. Like before, he left late and ran at the far back.
Come
Another
on,
horse
Grass.
quickly fell behind and allowed Grass to move up a placement, but he was still in the back of the pack during the first 400 meters. Only after passing the entrance to the wide corner did Grass finally start advancing forward. 600 meters remained when everyone arrived at the final
Activate
turn.
your ultimate.
While galloping on the outside,
Oh, that was a
Grass
nice
Wonder
opening.
weaved between 2 horses and
Yeah.
laid claim to the 7th position.
That was really
when
impressive
exiting the
there.
turn. Around 300 meters remaining, he lined up with another horse, and
Let's
after
go,
spurting
Grass.
100 meters,
Let's
he
go.
passed the entire cluster of horses on his left and grabbed the lead position. Using the last
He activated
100
on your
meters,
left.
Grass continued sprinting towards the goal and finished the race with a 5-length lead. The next month, on November 8th, Grass Wonder entered
Unfortunately, Grass can't enter the classics. So this was around that time where foreign horses couldn't enter the classics. Unfortunately, or unfortunate rather.
his first graded race, the G2 1,400-meter Heisei High. Fun fact,
Heisei.
Hitoshi Matoba rode El Condor Paso for his debut about 4 hours prior to this race, which will be relevant later. Starting from the second innermost gate, Grass Wonder finally had a decent start and left at the same time as the other racers. Initially, he was in third along the inside rail, but another horse overtook him and moved inside, which forced Grass to veer outwards. Once he got to the outer lanes, Grass moved up while cornering and passed the horse who took his position earlier, but he did not stop there. Grass continued his corner acceleration until he lined up with the front-running horse. Both ran side by side as they traversed the final turn and exited at the same time. By the 400-meter marker, Grass passed his opponent and dashed towards the finish line. Without a shadow of a doubt, everyone knew which horse would emerge victorious.
That's a crazy lead.
Finished the race 6 lengths in front of second place. Their next race was the G1 Asahi High Sansai Stakes in early September.
She can't enter the classics because she brings a spear to the race. That's just her Second Amendment spear. It was guaranteed to her.
Several days before the race, a reporter asked trainer Ogata if he thought Grass Wonder would win, and he replied,
"Yes.
If he can accelerate quickly in the last 5 furlongs, then there is no scenario where he would lose.
True.
Honestly, I'm excited to see how he would win." You're expected to be the favorite. How do you feel? You never know until you actually run. The horse's condition is decent, but stepping into a major race always brings uncertainty. We have no intention of just sitting behind the leader and following along. As expected, Grass Wonder was the favorite on the day of the race. He had a decent start when the gates opened and was initially among the foremost horses immediately after leaving, but Matoba quickly pulled him back to the rear.
Why?
He stayed at the front of the back half
Maybe not to
throughout
burn
the
his
first straight,
stamina.
even though the front-running horse was escaping at a fast pace. Grass started advancing at the 800-meter marker as the front-running horse approached the corner. The gap between the lead and the rest of the
enough
pack
to catch
narrowed
up?
upon entering the turn and allowed Grass Wonder to overtake multiple horses on the outside. At 400 meters remaining, while the group traversed the turn, Grass lined up with the most forward 4 horses and entered the home stretch while fighting for the 3rd position. However, the battle was over the moment it started as he passed them and 2 other horses to his front. Less than 200 meters remained and only one other horse stood between Grass and the finish line. He made
I didn't realize Grass had really amazing spurt.
quick work of his final opponent, finished the race in first, and set a new course record of 1 minute and 33.6 seconds.
Now that I think about it, I think this is the first video I've ever seen about the actual horse, Grass Wonder. I've seen a video about El Condorpasa, and I've seen some from the other Golden Generation, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, this is the first time I've seen anything from Grass Wonder.
In the words of Fuji TV announcer Masaharu Miyake, Grass Wonder is just too strong. This is the new chestnut monster. And look at that time, 1 minute 33.6. A true reincarnation of Maruzensky. After hearing Miyake's praise, many racing fans, especially those who witnessed Maruzensky's races, echoed his sentiment. Not only that, many people believe Grass Wonder surpassed Maruzensky because of the Japan classification, which ranks horses using a hypothetical weight-to-age value. As a 2-year-old, Maruzensky received a weight of 115 pounds, but because ranking officials believed Grass Wonder faced stronger opponents, and the fact that Maruzensky had a narrow-nosed victory, they gave Grass Wonder a weight of 116 pounds,
so 1
which
pound
earned
heavier.
him the title of the strongest 2-year-old in JRA history. However, to be fair to Maruzensky, that narrow victory was the fault of the jockey and not the horse. On another note, Maruzensky passed away in August of this year, so some people believe this was meant to be. When one chestnut monster leaves, another rises to take his place.
Nice trophy.
The stringent comparison between Grass Wonder and Maruzensky is directly reflected in the game when playing Grass's career. The game even uses similar words and calls her the second coming of Maruzensky. She is so closely connected to Maruzensky that the game mentions part of Maruzensky's real history only in Grass's career. Right before entering the classic year Arimakinen, there's an event where Grass Wonder finds out Maruzensky is no longer running because
Yeah, I forget a lot of the early stories when I first started the game because I read them so long ago. And some of the ones that I also did at the start, I skipped a lot of their story. So I forget so much. I'm gonna have to go back and reread some story at some point. Spechan hates chestnut horses, but his grandpa is a chestnut. You know what? Maybe it was Spechan internalizing her hatred of the chestnut due to her grandpa. Man, the therapy goes deep.
She sustained an injury during training, which is exactly what happened in real life and led to Maruzensky's retirement. After the race, reporters flocked over to Ogata and Matoba for comments.
Internalized racism. Exactly.
Matoba stated, "Even when he's just cruising along, his response the moment I give the go-ahead is incredible. In a word, he's strong. He still has so much room to improve, and if he grows the way I imagine he can, I honestly don't know how good he might become." As for Ogata, who had just won his first G1 race since becoming a trainer 15 years ago, he said, "For the first time since becoming a trainer, I was certain we would not lose. The only thing I feared was an accident involving another horse." The trainer continued the interview and laid out their plans for the following year.
Censored week. I was wondering that too. Why she was blurred out. I wonder if there's a reason for that, or just because he wanted to focus on Grass Wonder there.
"We will target the NHK Mile High. This is just my personal view, but if he gets through the summer safely, I intend to take him overseas. He was born abroad, and the world is getting smaller. We'll go with the
Returning
intention of
home.
storming in and taking them on." Little did they know, their worries of an accident manifested into a
No, Surumaru Tsuyoshi, why?
self-fulfilling prophecy for Grass Wonder. After the end of the year, in early January of 1998, Grass Wonder was selected as the best 2-year-old stallion.
Let's
Additionally,
go.
he was nominated and received 10 votes for the JRA's Horse of the Year award, but he lost to Air Groove in the end. A 2-year-old receiving votes for Horse of the Year.
I'm not used to seeing the model when he makes these videos. Usually it's just a voiceover. Surumaru Tsuyoshi will go on to outlive the entire Golden Gen. Yeah, I remember hearing about that in the past.
Is so rare and unprecedented that since Grass Wonder, no other 2-year-old horse has ever received any votes again.
Jeez.
After a short winter break, Grass Wonder's training resumed at the end of January, but shortly after starting, the training staff noticed irregularities with his gait, which is the technical term to describe a horse's sequence of movements. Naturally, an examination was performed, but the veterinarian could not identify the cause, so training continued as planned.
Uh-oh.
However, on March 15th, they discovered a small crack in Grass Wonder's third metatarsal bone of his right hind leg.
Ow.
All plans for the spring season were canceled, and the team sent him to Northern Farm Airport Ranch to rest. Coincidentally, Special Week arrived at the farm in June for summer break, so the two occasionally went on walks together. Grass's leg healed by August,
best
and he returned to the
friends.
Miho Training Center after, but all was not well.
Best friends, that is, until Spechan's racism kicks in. But until then, best friends.
The summer of 1998 was scorching hot in Japan, with temperatures reaching up to 37 degrees Celsius, not to mention the high humidity levels.
What? 99? That's winter weather. I don't want anything to do with the humidity, though.
Grass Wonder struggled dealing with the severe summer heat and showed excessive signs of fatigue. To make matters worse, he developed periostitis, inflammation around the cannon bone in his left foreleg. The stable staff believed he was compensating for his right hind leg injury by applying most of his weight on his left front leg. He needed more time to heal. The team delayed Grass Wonder's next race until October, where he would run in the Mainichi Okan, but that also presented another problem. During the time Grass Wonder spent in recovery, Matoba had been riding El Condor Pasa with great success, especially at the NHK High. Soon after their victory, El Condor Pasa's team declared their intent to run in the Mainichi Okan. This left Matoba in an awkward situation.
He had to choose.
He had to choose between which horse to ride. Trainer Ogata told him, Don't worry about stable politics or obligations. Go wherever you want. Ride whichever horse you like.
What a good guy. He could have threw a fit over it. He could have cried and complained and screamed about contracts. But instead, he said, man, just do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy. Respect.
The conflicted jockey spent 3 whole weeks before deciding. Ultimately, he chose Grass Wonder. Later in life, Matoba admitted, El Condor Pasa is every bit as exceptional as Grass Wonder. They both run so well that I can't say which one is better. If I knew, the answer would be easy. I don't want them running in the same race. On another note, Ogata reached out to another jockey in case Matoba decided to ride El Condor Pasa. Coincidentally, that jockey was Masayoshi Ebina, who ended up being Matoba's replacement for El Condor Pasa. Although the jockey situation was resolved,
I don't recognize that jockey's name. I wonder if that's just my bad memory or if he's not as well known.
it was still a big problem on the day of the Mainichi Okan. Grass's condition did not look any better.
Oh, that was Top Gun's jockey. Okay.
It was so bad that Ogata believed they had already lost. How could the struggling Grass Wonder compete against Silent Suzuka and El Condor Pasa, both of whom were in top form and defending their respective 5 win streaks? Before heading out to the track, Ogata instructed Matoba, if we're going to lose, I want it to be in a way we can accept.
In style.
Go after the front runner. Given his poor condition, Grass Wonder left the starting gate late. Initially, he ran in the far back and slowly made his way towards the front of the back
And
pack
there
while
goes
Silent
Suzuka.
Suzuka led the pack,
Yep.
with El Condor Pasa chasing after him. Suzuka maintained a 3-length lead throughout the long straight, including the uphill section of the middle leg. About
Very
halfway
nice.
through, Grass finally caught up to El Condor Pasa, who was roughly in 5th at the time. Shortly after, Grass surpassed El as everyone made their way into the beginning of the 3rd corner. Continually pushing
Go,
forward,
go.
Matoba did as Ogata instructed
Suzuka's
and
slowing
closed the
down.
gap between Suzuka and Grass Wonder. By the time they arrived at the 4th corner, Grass fought for the 2nd position while
Come
running
on,
along the
Grass.
outside.
Come on.
He started accelerating when they came out of the turn, but Silent Suzuka
Suzuka's
surged forward
lead,
at the
man.
same time and left everyone in his dust. Not only that, El Condor Pasa also exploded ahead and overtook Grass Wonder at the 200-meter marker.
Yep.
Both of his
Suzuka,
rivals
man.
were long gone. There was no hope in catching them. Before
Look
he
at
knew
that.
it, 2 other horses also passed Grass Wonder, resulting in a 5th place finish.
Honestly, not that bad for still not having fully recovered from his injury. 5th place and held his own for a good while until the end. That's a pretty respectable showing. Super impressive.
After the race, Matoba confessed, we bumped into another horse on the outside.
Oh
But For a
no.
horse coming back after a long layoff, the performance wasn't bad.
Yeah,
Not the
not at
end.
all.
It was reckless to chase after the leader from 5 furlongs out in an 1800-meter race, but I want to praise Matoba's spirit for going after him anyway. Even if he finished 5th, Grass
Yeah.
Wonder still showed flashes of his true ability.
Exactly.
I think the fans understood that. The team set their eyes on the Japan Cup as their next major race. To prepare Grass Wonder for the extra distance, they entered him in the Argentina Republic Cup in early November. Grass had a reasonable start and moved towards the front. After moving closer to the inner rail from the far outside, he settled within the 4th position as everyone approached the 1st corner. The pace stayed mostly unchanged during the middle leg, and the
Yeah.
spread of horses gradually shortened once all runners passed the halfway mark. At 800 meters remaining, Grass Wonder, along with 3 other horses, advanced
Surged
towards
to
the
the
front
front,
and
yep.
cluttered around the lead horse. He
Kinda
entered the
boxed
final
in
corner
there.
a length behind the 2
Squeezed
horses
through.
ahead and proceeded outwards where a gap presented itself. At 400 meters remaining,
Looking
he
good.
accelerated, lined
Looking
up the
real
lead,
good.
and passed them by the 200-meter marker. But as soon as he claimed the front position,
Uh-oh.
numerous horses surged forward.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Grass Wonder did not have
No.
enough energy remaining to
Oh,
defend
Grass.
their attack and ended up at 6th place.
Wow.
Matoba remarked, the distance wasn't too long. He's just not back to his true form yet. On the other hand, Ogata
Aw.
confessed,
Oh, she's so sad.
for a moment, I thought he had already passed his peak. He was not the only person who felt this way. Whispers from racing fans and officials spread saying Grass matured early and was finished growing. This is the best he can be.
How dare they?
Disheartened from their poor performance, Ogata canceled Grass's entry into the Japan Cup and
Never count Grass out.
set their next goal as the Aramekinen. To add insult to injury, after El Condor Pasa won the Japan Cup, people started saying the phrase, Matoba chose the wrong horse.
Ooh.
Contrary to their belief, Matoba refused to give up on his partner.
That's
When training
right.
began, Ogata told Matoba,
My fellow American, I
"In his
believe in you.
condition, You don't have to push him too hard." But Matoba felt otherwise. The moment he mounted Grass Wonder, his gut instinct told him he needed to push harder than before. He had to reignite the horse's fighting spirit. With that in mind, Matoba drove Grass Wonder more rigorously than ever. He used the riding crop from start to finish for all training sessions. When watching Matoba
to
ride,
push him more
rival
forward.
stables laughed at them and even shouted, "That horse is so done!" However, the one to have the last laugh was Hitoshi Matoba, because Grass Wonder's mind and body did a complete 180.
Beefed up.
Katsukado Sakai, who recently retired from being a trainer the year prior, performed body evaluations on all Arimakinen participants and stated, "He looks nothing like the weak, slack-bodied horse we saw in his 2 autumn races. I can say with confidence that he has never looked this good."
He went and trained, beefed up, and became a true athlete. He was slacking. He wasn't that beefy, a little scrawny, and then he went and trained, and now look at him. He's ready to go. They counted him out, but now he's back in. Now let's watch Super Grass Wonder.
Since his debut, Sakai gave Grass Wonder the only perfect 10 out of 10 score among all 16
Let's
horses.
go.
At the start of the race, Grass Wonder left the inner gate with a decent pace as he ran side by side Machikane Fukukitaru. Seiyun
Fuku-chan.
Sky led the pack while Grass slightly pulled back and ran
Ooh,
behind.
there he is. He's always there, waiting, watching in every race. There is Stay Gold. Stay Gold's always there. I know. If there's one constant thing in the world, it's Stay Gold being in one of these races.
Air groove when everyone made their way through the first corner. Once he entered the straight in front of the main audience, Seiyun Sky broke away and increased the pace. He had a 6th-length lead by the time everyone entered the next corner.
Jeez.
But Grass Wonder and every other competitor maintained their composure. No one gave chase. Grass Wonder continued running through the middle leg with Air Groove to his front and Stay Gold on his left. The
Stay
gap
Gold.
between Seiyun Sky and the rest of the pack continued to narrow on the long uphill.
And
At
poor
600 meters
Fuku-chan.
remaining, the final corner came into view with about 5 lengths between Grass Wonder and the front.
Dober.
He initiated his advance, and every other horse
I'll never forgive Dober for CM12. That was my first place.
behind him followed suit. While traversing the turn, Grass caught up with the group of horses right behind Seiyun Sky and entered the home straight at the same time as Stay Gold. He immediately started spurting past Stay Gold, Major Dober, and Seiyun Sky with roughly 150 meters to spare. Grass was clearly in front, but Major Bright was right on his tail. He wonderfully defended his position and crossed the goal half a length
Very
in front of
nice.
Major Bright.
Very
thus making him the
nice.
first foreign-bred horse in history to win the Aremakinen. Not only that, he just achieved the shortest career to win the Aremakinen at the time. Everyone was absolutely astonished.
That's right. I told you never doubt my fellow American. He came back bigger, stronger, and better than ever. Bright, Dober, Fuku, Air Groove, Sky, Halo, Stay, and Grass. Absolutely stacked race it is. Insanely stacked.
Owner Hanzawa stated, "To be honest, I never imagined he would come back in the Aremakinen. If his 4-race winning streak culminating in the Asahi High was part 1 of his life, then winning the Aremakinen marks the beginning of part 2. I hope he continues to push forward from here." As a result of their victory, the Grass Wonder rule was born. The more people negatively spoke about Grass Wonder, the better he performed.
Oh. I wasn't aware of the Grass Wonder rule. You see, that's what we call good old fashioned spite. When someone says, you can't do this, blah, 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 you do it anyways out of pure spite. Nice.
In the new year, excitement about Grass Wonder's revival rapidly grew. Several reporters asked Ogata if he would try for an overseas expedition again. Ogata admitted he was interested in the idea, but he decided against it. We
Smart.
lost an entire year. So this year, we need to concentrate solely on Japan. Now that the horse is finally returning to form.
Yeah, because when they traveled, that is when Grass got injured. Now, I don't know if he got injured due to the travel, but it's probably best just to stay and continue racing since you got a good thing going.
There's no point in entertaining lofty or distracting ideas. Speaking about overseas,
Kentucky.
news of Grass Wonder's success in Japan reached all the way back to his home at Darby Dan Farm. On February 2nd, 1999, Grass Wonder's full sister was born, and she was given
Wonder
the name
again.
Wonder Again, most likely inspired by Grass's remarkable achievements thus far. As her name suggests, Wonder Again achieved wonderful results.
Very
during her
nice.
career with several graded wins, and 2 were G1, despite failing her maiden race 3 times. Her acclaim is so great that she was considered as the best mare of her generation on the turf, and even has a G2 race named after her in America. Additionally, Grass Wonder mentions her little sister in the game if you say
Aw, that's adorable. I didn't know that. I didn't know she mentioned a little sister in America.
Grass as your home screen Umamusume. After winter break, the team set their next goal as the Nakayama Kinen, but in mid-March, Grass developed muscle pain in his right shoulder.
No,
As a
not
precaution,
again.
the team changed his racing schedule
Injury?
to Osaka High instead. But a few days before the race, Grass Wonder inexplicably lacerated his lower left eye while inside his stall. The
Ooh,
cut was deep. He had to be put under general anesthesia, and 40 stitches were required to close the wound.
that's crazy.
Unsurprisingly, Grass Wonder was out of commission for most of spring. Once again, horse racing fans thought he's probably done now. Months later, Ogata decided their next major race would be the Yasuda Kinen, but you can't throw a horse into a G1 after such a long resting period. To prepare for the upcoming battle, they entered Grass Wonder into the KO High Spring Cup on May 15th.
And
Despite having
Grass Wonder's
numerous
gonna take an
injuries,
easy
Grass left
win.
the starting gate relatively well. He comfortably ran at a medium pace, but a large field of opponents swarmed ahead. Few
Come
seconds
on,
later,
Grass.
once the competitors reached the first corner, Grass situated himself towards the front of the back half. With so many horses to his front, he gradually maneuvered to the outside as he traversed the wide turn. At the 600-meter marker, everyone started clumping together to enter the final corner. Grass advanced forward on the outside, but the extra
That was a
distance
good
from being
position
so
to
far
take.
out placed him among the last 5 horses when entering the home stretch. But this was trivial for
I mean, again, I don't know much about being a jockey, but that looks smart to me to take the outside so that way he doesn't get boxed in the clumping, but it also makes him have to run harder to get to the front of all the other horses. So I guess it's a little bit of a gamble.
a horse of Grass's caliber. His powerful final spurt was his greatest weapon after all.
True, actually.
At 400 meters remaining, Grass Wonder struck the ground with tremendous force and burst forward. In the final 200 meters, Grass overtook every competitor to his front.
Look at
and
that
finished the
spurt,
race
man.
3/4 length ahead of Air Jihad. The spectators were stunned. Many believe his setbacks and injuries meant the end of his career. Staying true to the Grass Wonder rule, his performance proved this was far from the truth. In fact, during the final straight, fans noticed Grass Wonder did not change his leading leg a single time. Like how humans switch arms when one gets tired, horses will do the same during a race to alleviate fatigue. But since Grass Wonder did not do that, spectators realized he still had plenty of energy left. Full of confidence from their win, Grass Wonder and his team returned to Tokyo the next month for the Yasuda Kinen. Grass
Who's
dashed
in
out of
this
his
race,
gate
I
at a
wonder?
good pace and positioned himself in the middle of the group. A couple hundred meters in, he slightly fell back, maneuvered around another horse, and moved one lane towards the outside. Upon approaching the final
You know, I'm noticing that's a common tactic that the jockey uses. Around the middle of the race, slow down and then go to slowly the outside. So that way he can kind of like swing and then dash forward. Or I guess have a late spurt to the front. Very interesting.
corner, he placed himself among the second row of horses who were a length behind the front four. Everyone started spreading out as they rounded the turn, and
Squeeze
Grass
through.
entered the home stretch in fifth, right next to King Halo. But
Oh,
gave
Halo's
him
in
a
here.
spurt, and he immediately took off. In an instant, Grass was in the lead.
Watashi wa King
Air Jihad
Halo
would not let him
desu.
claim victory so easily. He wanted revenge for the KO high. Grass and Air Jihad dueled with one another on the final straight.
Come on, Grass.
Although he led for the majority
Come
of
on,
their final
Grass.
spurt,
Come
Air
on.
Jihad pulled ahead at the very last moment
No.
and won by a nose. Obviously,
By a nose. My poor fellow American.
everyone was disappointed. After all, the favorite of the day just lost to the Yasuda Kinen. But the one who took their loss the hardest was Matoba. In an interview, he muttered the words, "It was my fault. My riding was poor." According to Matoba,
What did
the
he
rider
do?
of Holy Grail was on the verge of falling a few hundred meters into the race.
Oh no, he almost fell. So since he almost fell, it kind of, I assume, messed with the horse's running.
When he tried to avoid it, Grass Wonder mistook it as a sign to accelerate, which ultimately cost him the race. There was no time to wallow in regret. They needed to prepare for the Takarazuka Kinen to meet the fans' expectations for voting them in as the second favorite horse, and to face off against a fierce opponent. Special week. Training resumed as soon as possible, and Ogata believed Grass Wonder's condition was good. Really good. Win or lose, I felt he would run a great race. Everyone rushed forward.
And there's Stay Gold again. All right, so in this race we have Spei-chan, King Halo, Fuku-chan, and of course Stay Gold. I'd be surprised if Stay Gold wasn't in here.
Fighting for the ideal position once the gates opened. Although Grass had a good start and could have claimed a more forward spot, he eased off and settled behind King Halo. A few moments later, Special Week ran by Grass's side and moved closer to King Halo.
Kind of boxed
Grass
in there.
bided his time behind Special Week while going through the turn
Bye,
on
Stay
the
Gold.
outside.
Bye, Stay Gold.
The front-running horse led the pack by almost 5 lengths once everyone returned to the straight, but they all sped up on the uphill section and narrowed the gap. By the halfway point, the rest of the group caught up with the front-running horse and continued speeding along until many of them passed them. With the final corner coming into view, Special Week pushed farther up until he became the lead horse.
John
Grass
Umamusume.
Wonder followed suit and chased
Spei-chan.
after him as they entered the final turn. By the time Grass and Spei exited the corner, both horses were lined up with
And
one
then
another.
Stay Gold.
Less than 400 meters remain. Grass Wonder overtook Special Week at the 200-meter marker, and his powerful spurt carried him farther down the straight until he passed the finish line 3 full lengths ahead of Special Week.
Nice.
It was
Let's
a
go.
complete victory. Afterwards, Grass Wonder returned
First, second, third, fifth, and eighth. Poor King Halo, man.
to Northern Farm in Hokkaido to escape the summer heat and enjoy a well-deserved break from racing. After a short 1-month vacation, he moved to Sapporo Racecourse in
Look at that
early
happy
August for some
boy.
light training, and then returned to the Miho Training Center in mid-September to prepare for the Mainichi Okan. On October 10th, Grass Wonder and Matoba entered the starting gates full of excitement. The time for redemption from last year's poor performance has come. Positioned among the outer lanes,
It's time to
Grass
dominate.
burst out of his gate,
Let's
chasing
go,
King
Grass.
Halo. 400 meters into the race, he passed
Is that why she has Dominator? Oh my god, it's all coming together.
King Halo on the left as he continued running up the hill. He stayed in the middle on the outside lane when entering the third corner and sped up once the final corner came into view. Every other racer did the same. Grass entered the home stretch at the same time as Major Dober, who was running on the inside. Both briefly battled for fourth, but Grass's position proved more advantageous with an open area to his front. He immediately started sprinting to the finish line and passed
You
the
got
second place
this.
horse at the 200-meter
Come
marker.
on.
100 meters later, Grass Wonder claimed the lead, but Meisho Odo was right on his tail. The two contested each other for the finish line, and in the end,
Go,
Grass
go.
barely won by the tip of his nose.
Oh, he won by a nose this time? Last time, he lost by a nose, so he got revenge.
Interestingly,
First, fifth, sixth.
After the race, both trainer and jockey suspected Grass Wonder might be unsuited for left-handed tracks, considering the tightness of the race, and all his losses were at Tokyo in left-handed races.
Why was he side-eyeing like that? I'm gonna go back. Look at that wide eye. He's seeing the past, the present, and the future with that look.
Races. To test their theory, they began experimenting with left-handed training, which would also help prepare them for the Japan Cup. Unfortunately, and coincidentally, Grass developed muscle pain in his left flank during
Jeez, poor Grass. Every other, like, 2-3 races, he gets a new injury. He's collecting them like Pokemon at this point.
the training session. Even though they administered acupuncture to ease the pain, Grass's condition failed to heal in time for the Japan Cup, so his entry was withdrawn, and they shifted the next race to the Arimekinen once again.
You don't want a more
As
serious
the
injury.
final race of the year neared, Matoba felt Grass's movement was still poor. Am I riding a different horse? Ogata reassured. Compared to last year, he's much better now. He's better than last week, but considering his true ability, he's still far from where he should be. The day after Christmas, 1999's Arimekinen took place with old and new adversaries.
Oh, and
facing off
NTR.
against
We love NTR in this chat.
last year's reigning
Opera
champion.
O.
Grass Wonder casually left his
So that
starting
means
gate
Dodo's
and
in here
stayed among
too.
the back to conserve stamina in the long race. Unexpectedly,
Possibly.
Goei Suzuka, who was known for using an end-closer strategy, dashed to the very front of the pack and dictated a slow
Okay, we have NTR, Staygold, Surumaru Tsuyoshi, and Grass. It feels like every horse documentary is like injury, win, win, sudden bad injury, win, another 3 injuries. It does feel like that.
pace. As everyone made their way through the first corner, Special Week ran in the very back of the pack, watching Grass Wonder like a hawk. But Matoba expected as much. This time, they were the ones being marked.
Oh, he was stalking
Everyone
him.
maintained their positions while running past the audience and rounding the next turn, with Grass being fourth from the back. At 800 meters remaining, the racers continued pacing themselves along the uphill section of Nakayama, when all of a sudden, Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi, who was 2 lengths in front of Grass, started spurting. This caused a chain reaction where everyone behind him, including Grass Wonder, picked up the pace and chased after him. As a result,
Was that
Grass Wonder and Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi
a
were already
strategy,
lined
I
up with the
wonder?
front horses before
Or just by
entering the final
chance?
corner. With Special Week right on his tail, Grass Wonder entered the last straight, a length behind Tsurumaru Tsuyoshi. With less than 200 meters to go,
Come on, Grass.
Faye,
Come
Tsurumaru,
on.
and Opera O all lined up together in
Come
an
on.
all-out brawl for
Hi,
the finish.
Staygold.
When they crossed the goal, the 2 foremost horses were Special Week and Grass Wonder, who ended the race so
Come on.
tightly together
Come
it
on.
resulted
Come
in
on.
a photo finish. Convinced they had lost, Matoba dejectedly rode back to the weighing area. In fact, everyone watching the race believed Grass Wonder lost, including the fans, racing officials, and Yutaka Take. Take was so convinced he won that he even did a victory lap and pumped his fist when
Did
walking
he?
by the stands, with the audience cheering his name.
Wow. And then they're about to announce the truth. The sports bettors were mad about this one. Oh, I can imagine. You saw the race, everyone's cheering. The announcers are saying that Take won. You're there looking at your juicy ticket. You go to cash it in and wah, wah.
外側の方が有利という状況があるんですが、スペシャルウィーク武豊が
However, a few minutes later, the judges posted the official winning photo, and to everyone's
Look at that. Another nose.
surprise, Grass Wonder appeared as the victor by 4 centimeters. Overwhelmed with joy, Ogata flung his arm into the air, shouting, "We did it!" Afterwards, he shook hands with Special Week's trainer and thanked him for a spectacular race. With this victory, Grass Wonder became the 3rd horse in history to consecutively win the Arimekinen twice, as well as the 2nd horse in history to achieve the Triple Grand Prix. A few days after the year's end,
That's
the
my
annual
fellow
vote for
American.
Horse of the Year took place. It became a 3-way competition between the last big 3 of the 20th century.
Oh, look at them in all their fancy dresses. How fancy. And look at Gold Chip. Gold Chip. Gold Chip. Why are you still wearing that? Your hat, Gold Chip. You know, it's fine. She's adorable. We don't question it.
which consisted of El Condor Pasa, Special Week, and Grass Wonder. Ultimately, the selection committee determined El Condor Pasa as the winner, but Grass Wonder did receive the JRA Special Award for his consecutive Arima Kinen victories.
Nice.
Early in the new year, Ogata considered retiring Grass Wonder from racing. However, he changed his mind in the end because he wanted to avoid competing for mares against El Condor Pasa and Special Week, both of whom just retired and entered stud life. With that in mind, Grass resumed training after a short break with the intent of competing in the Spring Tenno Show and, if all goes well, running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe in the fall. Sadly, things did not go well. Grass Wonder's condition severely suffered after the Arima Kinen. The team suspected he had a fracture because his gait was intensely irregular, and the issue did not show any improvement until mid-February. Unfortunately, Grass Wonder's injuries were too much for the poor horse, so training came to an abrupt halt. On another note, Grass Wonder's stable groom, Yoshiaki Onishi, retired after the Arima Kinen and was replaced by 24-year-old Chikara Sasaki, who transferred in from another stable. Poor Sasaki blamed himself so much for Grass's condition that he suffered from insomnia because of it.
Ooh.
The stress on Sasaki's well-being was as clear as day.
Grass Wonder becomes Fatty Wonder after this injury. Oh, okay. Let's see. There's nothing wrong with a nice fellow chunky American.
Matoba recalled, "I was worried about Grass Wonder, but I was just as worried about Sasaki's mental and physical state." Luckily, Grass was able to resume light training near the end of February. The team set his next race as the Nikkei Show. However, his movements remained sluggish all the way until their last training session before the race. But Ogata went ahead with the race anyway. On March 26, Grass Wonder entered the Nakayama Racecourse weigh-in station, and they announced his weight at 530 kilograms, 18 kilograms more than his weight from the Arima Kinen. Murmurs echoed among the
That
crowd.
was just some delicious
Even
food.
Matoba
Couldn't help
was
himself.
But what did they expect from a horse whose injury prevented him from training for months? He can't get better if he doesn't eat, and it's only natural to gain weight if he can't train. Despite this, bookkeepers still ranked Grass Wonder as the favorite to win. The anxious
He was
Matoba
too
rode
thick.
his horse out to their starting gate. He initiated the race as usual, with Grass pacing himself in the back half. He remained
Dodo.
about 2 lengths behind Meisho Doto once they arrived at the first corner. Then, he moved
Love
closer when
Dodo.
running along the turn and eased off after
And
entering the
Stay
straight.
Gold, of course.
While patiently pacing himself behind Doto, Grass deviated his path to the outside as everyone ran by the audience. After crossing the next corner, the front-running horse, Leo Ryuho, suddenly accelerated on the downhill and dramatically increased his lead, which forced everyone else to speed up as well. Thankfully, he slowed
Come
down
on,
upon
Chunk
entering the
Wonder.
final corner and
You can
gave
do it.
everyone else the opportunity to catch up. However, Grass was still in the back half of the pack during and after the turn. 5 horses were to his front when
no.
he entered the final straight.
It's over, isn't
Despite
it?
trying his best to catch up, the power he showed
Too
at
thick.
last year's Arima Kinen was nowhere to be seen. His position never changed after spurting on the home stretch. Grass Wonder
Yeah.
ended the race in 6th place.
Oh.
As you'd expect,
Second, third, and fifth. I mean, of course they get second, but was too chunky for his own good.
the team realized their desire to participate in the Spring Tenno Show and the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe was a fool's errand. They canceled those lofty ideals and focused on returning Grass Wonder to good condition, which means he needed to lose some weight.
What?
A month and a half later, after losing 20 kilograms, Grass Wonder returned to the KO High Spring Cup as the favorite of the day. Matoba noted that Grass felt as if he still had not returned to normal condition, but they did the best they could. There was nothing left to do but race.
Yeah, I don't think there's
After the
recapturing
starting
that
gates
spark
opened,
at this point.
Grass left on time compared to the other runners, but he quickly fell to the far back. He sped up
King
a small
Halo.
uphill and caught up with the rest of the group to ensure a good position while going through the wide corner. Unfortunately, due to the large number of opponents, Grass stayed at the very back of the entrance to the final turn.
When you're blocked, you're
He
blocked.
swerved outwards to get around everyone else, but that meant his placement did not improve after entering the late race. Over a dozen opponents were to his front. Grass started passing several horses once he accelerated, but after crossing the 200-meter marker, his speed stagnated. Try as he might,
Past
Grass
his
Wonder could not
prime.
overtake another horse and finished the race in 9th, the worst placement of his career. When
Unfortunate.
Matoba went home,
And then King Halo with 11th.
he reportedly told his
Wait a second. Wait a
his career.
second. Do I make the joke? Do I dare make the joke? Let's just say this is a very American race. I won't make the joke though. It's just plain wrong.
When Matoba went home, he reportedly told his wife, "I might be taken off Grass Wonder." His intuition was right. Ogata changed jockeys, and the humble, sincere Matoba, who truly
Don't you weird chat me, Twitch chat.
cared for his racing partners, never rode Grass Wonder again. A quick mention about Hitoshi Matoba. He had a unique approach when it came to racehorses. He was the type of jockey who never pumped his fist or made a victory pose after winning a race. Later in life, when questioned about his nature, Matoba explained, "It isn't I who win. The horse allows me to win. And it isn't just me who wins. Everyone connected with the horse wins together. There's no need for me to get excited or show off. What matters most is bringing the horse to a safe stop. Crossing the finish line first is not the end. The race only truly ends when the horse pulls up safely and returns to its stall without incident."
What a
According to
hero.
trainer Yuji Ito, Matoba always visited the stall of every horse he rode after a race to ensure their safety. Even after becoming a trainer, Matoba continues having compassion for horses and has inspired future jockeys to do the same. When asked about dismissing Matoba,
Oh, his experience with Rice Shower made him like that. That actually makes so much sense.
Ogata rationalized, "I could sense how much it affected him. A jockey cannot race with a clouded mind. It was a bold choice, but we needed a fresh start." Coincidentally, Matoba's replacement was Masayoshi Ebina, the jockey who rode El Condorpasa after Matoba stopped being the horse's rider. In the following weeks after the KO high, training resumed to acclimate Grass Wonder and Ebina to one another. Expectations grew as Grass Wonder's condition improved, and he showed impressive lap times. Talks about achieving the first
Ain't no way Grass is about to bounce back again.
4 consecutive Grand Prix victories was on the tip of everyone's tongue after fans voted Grass Wonder as the 3rd favorite for the Takarazuka Kinen. There was only one opponent who stood in his way, TM Opera O. On June 25th,
The laugh.
thousands eagerly awaited the start of the Takarazuka Kinen, while the sound of raindrops hitting umbrellas echoed throughout the racecourse. Starting from the farthest gate on the outside, Grass dashed out and casually made his way towards the inner rail.
And stay gold, of
Like
course.
always, Grass Wonder settled within the middle, about a length behind Machikane Fukukitaru's left. Meisho Doto chased after the lead, who was 4 lengths in front of the group at the 1,000-meter marker.
Yeah, with Opera O being in this race and it being around the year 2000, I don't think Grass is going to have a comeback. Matter of fact, I know that's the case.
At this time, Grass had dropped his position by a length, but he started accelerating on the uphill section to catch up to Opera O. The gap between all horses significantly narrowed at the 600-meter mark as they approached the final corner. Numerous horses blocked his path to the right, so Grass swung out wide on the final turn. He entered the home stretch a length behind TM Opera O,
Dodo.
but there were 5 other racers in front of him. In an instant, Opera O spurted forward, and unfortunately for Grass Wonder, he could not keep up. In just a few meters, the distance between Grass and the front 5 horses became so great that he was barely visible on camera. Grass Wonder finished the race in 6th place. Not only did the
1, 2, 4th, 6th, and 8th. To be fair, for as much injuries and as much struggles as Grass was going through, 6th place is still not that bad.
4 consecutive Grand Prix dream disappear. It turned into a nightmare. Sensing something was wrong, Ebina immediately dismounted while still on the racetrack. Unable to identify the issue, they requested an ambulance and took Grass Wonder for an examination. X-rays revealed he fractured his left leg's 3rd metacarpal bone during the race.
Jeez. Oh, man. If you're not first, you're last. True, sadly.
Immediately after this discovery, Ogata announced Grass Wonder's retirement. He added, "If he hadn't been injured, I believe we could have brought him to a point where he would have fought a good race." Additionally, Ogata praised Sasaki for his work as a stable groom. "He really prepared the horse well. Before the race, I thought, with this condition, we have a chance." However, Sasaki did not feel the same way. Filled with remorse, he reflected, "I couldn't deliver results, and I felt sorry for Ogata-sensei, the stable staff, and the horse. After losing the Nikkei show and KO High, I thought winning the Takarazuka Kinen would
Poor
make up for it.
grass.
As a groom, I should have wished only for the horse's safety, but all I could think about was winning. I feel like this was my punishment." Grass Wonder remained at the Hanshin racecourse for 2 weeks to be monitored before returning to the Miho Training Center. Near the end of July, they relocated him to Northern Farm Airport Ranch for full treatment and rest.
And now it's time to let your American out, Grass Wonder. Join the chunk side.
Once Grass Wonder's condition improved, they held his retirement ceremony at the Nakayama Racecourse on Christmas Eve, the same day of the Arima Kinen. He wore the number 7 saddlecloth when he won 1999's Arima Kinen. Since his leg had not fully healed, Matoba did not ride Grass Wonder. Everyone solemnly watched as Grass Wonder walked before them while his staff discussed his wonderful achievements. Matoba declared, "If he had been able to run in top condition all the time, I believe his record would have been even more incredible. I can say without hesitation that he was the greatest horse I ever rode. That's how extraordinary he was." Ogata revealed, "Because he always tries hard. He would run through
What
the
a
pain
hero.
his entire career after age 2.
The monster Grass Wonder. Eat and breed. Yes, the American way.
Was a battle with injury, yet he still delivered results. That was because of his honesty, his straightforward nature, his pure heart." Shortly after his retirement ceremony, Grass Wonder moved to Breeder Stallion Station in Hokkaido, where he began his stud life during the new year. Similar to his racing career, he found quick success as a stud. He bred with 189 mares during his first
Jeez.
year, and then 178 in the second. Between the years 2003 to
Busy man.
2006, Grass Wonder spent time in the Southern Hemisphere as a shuttle stallion and returned to Japan in 2007. By 2008, several of his offspring won G1 races, which made him the JRA's 10th best sire of that year. Fast forward to 2014, Grass Wonder attended an event at the Hakodate racecourse and was paraded around the paddock with Special Week. Hilariously, both horses got really excited when they saw each other, so they had to be kept far away from one another. Allegedly, Special Week initially hated breeding, and he primarily mated with chestnut horses, so he got irritated after seeing Grass Wonder.
Oh, so that's why. I did not know that was the reason why Spei-chan did not like chestnut horses.
On the flip side, Grass usually breeds with bay-colored horses, so he also mistook it
I gotta fast forward that.
for Big Red Farm, where Goldship had been staying since becoming a stud in January of that year. The two got along really well at the farm, and often stared at each other in passing. Finally, the farm staff compared the two, stating that Grass Wonder was always calm and never acted out, while taking care of Goldship required a lot more effort.
It's Goldship. He's gotta do his best.
Additionally, the staff said Grass had such a hearty appetite, they struggled managing his weight, which was something both stable grooms from his racing days had trouble with as well. He ate so much that many people refer to him as the infinite lawnmower. Grass Wonder, more like, I wonder where all the grass went.
Jeez.
On another note, Grass Wonder loved eating dandelions. There are plenty of videos of him eating them, but in one specific video, you can see him clearing the field of dandelions like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
That's because it was.
Another memorable video of Grass Wonder eating dandelions was when his voice actress, Reina Maida, visits him in 2018 while he's grazing, and he chomps on a dandelion right in front of her. On April 2nd, 2020, Big Red Farm announced Grass Wonder's retirement from stud duty and was moved to Maewa Ranch, which is a farm dedicated to housing retired horses and adjacent to Big Red Farm. In total, Grass Wonder
He looks super comfy in the grass there.
18 foals. His foals accrued 29 graded wins, 5 of which were G1 races,
Nice.
with many of his descendants having successful careers, such as Maurice, a 6 G1 champion, Gold Actor, 2015's Arimakinen champion, and Pixie Knight, the winner of 2021 Sprinter Stakes. It's safe to say his bloodline will continue for many years. Grass Wonder spent the remainder of his life away from the public eye thanks to the pandemic in 2020, but at least he got to enjoy grazing and relaxation. With the release of Umamusume Pretty Derby, hundreds of fans donated fresh grass to Grass Wonder. Over 4,000 kilograms of grass were donated, which goes to show
Aw.
just how much fans loved him.
Didn't beat the donations to Haru, but still quite a bit.
Thankfully, he did not incur any major health problems or injuries between 2020 up until the day of his passing on August 8th, 2025. The official announcement was made by Big Red Farm in the evening. They declared he passed away at the age of 30 due to multiple organ failure on account of old age.
Aw.
It's said
30
he
though.
lived an incredibly blessed life in retirement.
Rest
Even though
in
Grass
peace,
Wonder is no
my
longer
fellow
of this
American.
His legacy stays with us. He was a horse who refused to conform to the opinion of others. They compared him to Madezensky. Grass Wonder surpassed him. They assumed his career peaked at age 3. He proved them wrong. When struck with injury, he rose from the ashes like a phoenix and triumphantly stepped back onto the racetrack. His refusal to surrender inspired his fans so much that many of them who were suffering from disabilities or terminal illnesses wrote, "As long as Grass Wonder keeps trying, I'll keep trying too." Grass Wonder taught us, the opinion of others does not determine our outcome. Just like how he took charge of his own
Put
life,
in the work
we can do the same. No matter the
and
challenge,
got rewarded for it.
nothing is set in stone.
That's my fellow
There is
American.
no path before us, only in our wake.
Grass, let me eat while you yab.
We are the author of our story. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the pen and start writing. Thank you
Not a
for making it to
writer,
the
but
end of the video. As
I will
you
pick up the
probably know,
yap.
2026 is the year of the horse, and it officially starts on February 17, one day before Grass Wonder's birthday.
Oh,
What better way to kick off the new year than to celebrate his birthday? With that in mind, I'm holding a small giveaway where 3 lucky people can win some goodies. To enter, type "The Monster" somewhere in your comment. I'll stream drawing the winning names on the 28th of February, so if you win,
it was
and
totally
happen to be
not
in the
3 months
stream,
ago.
I'll let you choose which item you want. Thanks for watching and sticking around to the end. See you in the next one.
Hey, that was good. That is a video that was sent to me I don't know how long ago, but we finally were able to watch it, and it was really good. We learned a lot about Grass Wonder, because I didn't know too much about the actual horse, so everything here was pretty new to me, and we also got jump scared by Grass Wonder's special spear that I'm probably going to have to cut out. But anyway, we already dropped a like, and it was a good video.